All you people that are environmentally woke, telling people how they're not environmentally woke and bashing them for it, or coming at them saying you're not environmentally woke, shut your trap if you're gonna act like that. I remember last year when I had a conversation with a person I used to work with. I remember the girl saying one more thing before that, and then she said, oh, you're not environmentally woke. Excuse me, ma'am? I could tell you about a million things of what you're not woke of. Like, hi, welcome back. So today's video, I'm going to be talking about my problem with sustainability. This video is going to be, I wouldn't really say it's controversial, but I would just say it's my problems with the internet attacking people for not being sustainable, and hopefully I won't get canceled from a channel that isn't even blown up yet. So yeah, let's get into this video.
Put your head on my shoulder.
Being sustainable costs a lot of money, because being sustainable means you have to stop using plastic and using anything that is just basically bad for the ozone. You have to cut down and just stop using anything. And the main thing that people talk about is plastic. The problem with telling people to stop using plastic completely is some people can't afford to do that, because in order to be sustainable, to stop using plastic, they say instead of using plastic water bottles, you get a reusable bottle and use that all the time. That's a great idea. I have no problem with using a reusable bottle. However, some people, there are some reusable bottles that are not really the best to use, and the ones that they recommend, YouTubers recommend, are usually like Hydro Flask or any like high name brand, and those are usually like $20-$30, and not everyone has the money to be buying a Hydro Flask and buying different lids for that Hydro Flask. Like a Hydro Flask itself costs, like at my bookstore on campus, costs like $30-$35, and in my opinion that's pretty ridiculous for a bottle. And then on top of that, you have to change it. Like, you could buy changeable lids. Like, why do I need to be fancy with a water bottle? I can understand decorating it with stickers and stuff like that, being creative, but like, why do I need to change the top of a bottle? I don't understand. It doesn't make sense to me. So being sustainable just with a bottle can already be expensive for a lot of people. Not everyone has the financial needs to be able to buy a $30 bottle. So I feel like when people talk about sustainability, they had to be more aware of the cost of what they're doing. And I know there's some YouTubers that are like, oh yeah, I'm aware this is like really expensive, so if you can afford it, then that's fine. But they don't really go to people and say, oh, but if you can't afford it, here's a better option. I feel like people should be more aware of when they're trying to bring awareness to something, like talk about the expensive way how you can do it, and also the affordable way how you can do it. And also, like, there are some things that like can be affordable, like buying a reusable bottle can be inexpensive. There are some cheap ones, there are some medium price ones, like $5-$10 bottles, some are $15. And literally, I got a Starbucks bottle. This was literally $4, and obviously you can buy bottles at other places like Target, maybe Amazon. You can buy affordable reusable bottles, but you just have to find them first. But I feel like when YouTubers or when people try to bring awareness to sustainability, they don't think about their audience and like cost wise. Like, some people would just talk about best way to do it is a bottle. I'm like, oh, here's my bottle, I have a Hydro Flask. And then they're just like, oh, that's great, you have a Hydro Flask, but what about people that can't afford a Hydro Flask? Like, what about them? Including as many people as you can is kind of the best way when you're talking about ways how to change the environment, and if you want everyone to be okay with changing their lifestyle from one thing to another. Whenever YouTubers say they're gonna try to be more sustainable and then they're seen with a water bottle, they have to like make a disclaimer. Oh, hey, sorry, I forgot to bring my reusable cups, so I'm using a plastic bottle. Don't come for me in the comments. Like, the fact that people had to even say that in the first place is a problem, because people are just so quick to judge someone because they're behind the screen and they feel like they're not being seen by the person, so they could just say whatever they want, which is also just why the internet is so toxic in the first place, because people are just not gonna talk about that. Anyway, the whole point of like being sustainable is trying to do your best to reduce the amount of bad things that you use. Like, plastic it's a good material to use for when you're having objects, but it's bad for the environment because not everyone recycles their plastic. That, I feel like, in my opinion, is the main issue of sustainability and of plastic, and the reason why we're in the problem that we're in now is because people don't recycle. You don't recycle your plastic. A lot of plastic that's been made is recyclable, but because people are too lazy to put a plastic bottle from their garbage to their recycling, that's why bottles are in the ocean, straws are in turtles' noses and necks and throats and stomachs. Like, that's why turtles are suffering, because people don't want to recycle. Recycling is very inexpensive depending on where you are though, because there are some neighborhoods where people live in that there aren't recycling bins for them to put the recycles in, and in order for them to recycle they have to go far and beyond to just put their bottles in a place so they can save the earth. And they only do recycling in certain areas where they're mostly white people or people with money that are able to recycle. So those are often the people that you see being sustainable the most and talking about being sustainable, talking about recycling, and talking about not using plastic, because they can afford to do it and because they have the privilege to live in a neighborhood that does that already. If you want everyone to be able to recycle, you have to talk about having recycling systems in every neighborhood that's around in the world. Like when I was younger, I remember when I was like I think 10 or 11 years old, I used to collect water bottles to start making like a little source of income. Like I would collect the water bottles that my family used, and then whenever the bag got full, I would go to the supermarket and then put them in and get money. That was the only way how I was like kind of making use of the plastic that we was using so much. And then I'm not gonna lie, I stopped doing it because I was kind of embarrassed of having to carry around the bottles all the time, but also I was getting tired of it. So I wanted to try to recycle them, but then I got turned down, so we ended up just going back to just throwing them out like regular. When I was younger, there weren't any recycling bins or like a place for us to recycle our stuff in my neighborhood. Now, like I think a year or two ago, we just started having recycle bins for people to be able to go and recycle their stuff. That is what should be happening everywhere. There needs to be more recycling bins like everywhere throughout the entire, like every neighborhood, whether like rich or poor, like everyone should be able to have the use to recycle, so that way when they use their plastic bottles, the least they can do is put it in a place where it can be reused again. All you people that are environmentally woke, telling people how they're not environmentally woke and bashing them for it, or coming at them saying you're not environmentally woke, shut your trap if you're gonna act like that. And instead of slandering people for not being environmentally woke, how about you educate them on being environmentally woke so that way they can be educated in the proper way. I remember last year when I had a conversation with a person I used to work with, and I have no problems with her. Like she's a cool girl. I follow her on social media. We were working together and we was talking about something. I think her boyfriend at the time was talking about how he was eating a banana and then he threw it on the grass on the floor, and then someone came at him for throwing it on the grass because it's like, oh, you're littering. And then I was just thinking, well, I mean, you kind of are littering. You're throwing a banana peel on the ground. Like, why would you do that? Like, it was on the grass. And then he's like, oh, like, well, banana peels are compostable, so it's actually benefiting the planet and the grass and that stuff and blah blah. And I'm just like, well, in my opinion, I kind of wouldn't want to have a banana peel on the grass. I would just throw it in the garbage because it's trash. And then I remember the girl saying one more thing before that, and then she said, oh, you're not environmentally woke. And I was like, excuse me, ma'am? I could tell you about a million things of what you're not woke of. Like, you do know sustainability is a privilege to have, because the fact that you were educated on how to be sustainable shows how you had the proper education, you had the proper materials, you have the money to be sustainable. Coming from a background where I was never taught to really be sustainable besides reduce, reuse, recycle, and like elementary school, they don't teach that in middle school and high school, in my middle school or high school, because I live in a neighborhood where it's majority Black and Hispanic people, and they don't care to teach you about being sustainable because they don't care about you trying to help the planet. They care more of white people and people that have money to be sustainable and to be vegan and vegetarian and whatever the list goes on. So the fact that she was able to know how to be sustainable shows her privilege already, and then her privilege advanced her to help the planet, whereas I didn't have a privilege to have that, so I didn't know about it. In my opinion, I was just like, I don't want to be able to, like, if you go to a park and you want to have a picnic with your family, but you can't because there are banana peels on the grass everywhere. Like, come on, that makes a park go from like being a beautiful place for children and families to be hanging out at, to a landfill of just insects and bugs because they're surrounded by all the banana peels and all the fruit that's supposed to be compostable on the ground. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me either, because that's not, it's benefiting the planet, but then it's not benefiting the people that are on it. Like, we're supposed to help nature, but nature helps us too. It's supposed to be a two-way street. From compostable stuff, there should be a trash can, a recycling bin, and also a compostable can and places. fact that you're telling someone that they're not woke enough, I find that stupid, because it's like, how are you gonna tell me that I'm not woke when you don't even know the education or the information that I even know about? And if you believe that I'm not woke, instead of telling me I'm not woke, how about you educate me so that way I can understand why what your boyfriend did at the time was a good thing and a smart thing, instead of just being like, oh, you're not environmentally woke. And it's just like, I just find that unnecessary. And the reason why I brought up privilege is because, like I said, whenever you're a white person or a person with money, you have the materials to educate yourself on bettering the planet and just bettering yourself as a person, whereas people that don't have that privilege are not going to be able to know how to better themselves, because the society doesn't want them to better themselves. Society doesn't want them to be good people because they don't like us. If you're a white person or a person with money, you have the advantage of being sustainable because you have the materials that you need to be sustainable. But if you don't have that privilege of whiteness or money, you can't be sustainable as much because you don't know how to do it, because you were never taught it, and it's hard for you to do it because it comes out of your pockets. And would you rather be sustainable for the planet or sustainable for your family? That's just my opinion on that. And my battery's dying. Cool. That's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, please smash the thumbs up button and subscribe to this channel because it is a new channel. Yeah, and if you have any opinions about this video, whether you liked it, leave a comment. If you didn't like it, leave a constructive criticism comment. Don't spew hate because I am sensitive, but also spewing hate doesn't make you feel any better, because if we were face to face, you wouldn't say half things you would be making in a comment. So think smart before you make a nasty comment on people's videos, because YouTubers are humans just like you, so don't hurt people's feelings. Yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye. Oh, and my social medias will be in the description down below. So yeah, anyway, if you want to follow me. Social medias, yeah. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.